Oh no!
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier, and welcome to the fourth video in this series where I torture myself with video games. Today, we're going to be playing Mario and Luigi Dream Team. Wait, this isn't Dream Team. That's right, my friends voted that I should play the fifth game before the fourth one, so now we're playing Paper Jam. As usual, if you haven't seen the first three videos, you should watch those first. Now, I'm going to go over the rules. 1. No using easy mode. 2. If an enemy dies in a fight, but can be seen after the fight in the overworld or a future Mario and Luigi RPG, it does not count as a kill. 3. No save states during boss fights. 4. I can only defeat required enemies, so I can't grind experience. 5. No major glitches. 6. No items that increase experience, since that would break the challenge. 7. No cards that can lower the level of enemies. 8. Papercraft battles won't count towards the kill counter. Now that the rules are out of the way, let's start the run! Luigi and a Toad go into a storage room to look for a draft of air. Luigi goes up to check, but he falls off after seeing a rat, and knocks a book off of the shelf.
Oh no!
Suddenly, a bunch of paper copies of the creatures of the Mushroom Kingdom fly out of the book and land all across the Mushroom Kingdom. Mario meets up with Luigi at Peach's throne room and finds a second Peach there. The princesses talk about what's happened, and Mario and Luigi embark on a quest to save all of the paper toads that are lost all over the Mushroom Kingdom. Mario and Luigi leave the throne room, and the first Toad mission starts. Toad missions usually don't affect the run at all, and are just short minigames where I have to try and save all the paper toads to progress the story. Since they're not that important to the run, I'll be skipping them unless they have some kills in them. After saving 8 paper toads, Mario and Luigi go to the left side of the castle, and find Nappet stealing all the bros attacks they had. The toads manage to get the red shell and fire flower back, but that means that there are still 7 bros attacks missing. The toads give Mario and Luigi the bros attacks to use, and Mario and Luigi leave the castle to look for some more paper toads. Immediately after leaving the castle, the bros find 2 paper Goombas, and decide to crumple one up, giving it a pretty nasty crease. This starts the first fight of the game. Just like the other 3 videos I made so far, kills and fights will be counted separately. So, if an enemy dies, it'll be added to both the kill count and fight count, but if it lives after the fight, it's only added to the fight count. This fight acts just like a basic tutorial, so I might as well go over the game's mechanics here, just in case you don't know them. By pressing buttons at certain times during my attacks, I can do extra damage. I can also avoid taking any damage by doing the same thing. Bros attacks are harder to do the button commands for, though, and they also require the use of some Bros points, or BP, to use. After winning the fight, I get some experience, which if I get enough of it, I can level up. Unlike every other Mario and Luigi game though, I can't select a bonus stat increase, and all stats are predetermined. The 2 paper Goombas survived the fight, and ran away, so thankfully nothing is on the kill counter so far. Immediately in the next room, 2 Goombas attack Mario and Luigi. It's basically the same exact fight, except this time, the Goombas die after the fight. Mario and Luigi find another paper toad, and try to catch it, but it keeps running away. They decide to just move on for now. In the next room, they find another paper toad being attacked by a Goomba, but it escapes through a narrow crack in a wall, so it's also unreachable now. That paper Goomba that Mario and Luigi creased a few moments ago returns with an entire army, and attacks them again. This time, the Goombas were prepared, and formed into a giant wheel, before chasing Mario and Luigi. They swiftly kill Mario and Luigi, and the fight's over. Since Mario and Luigi lost in this fight, it won't be counted towards the fight total. Suddenly, Paper Mario swoops in, and attacks the Goombas. Paper Mario functions a little differently than the normal bros. He can flutter when he jumps, allowing him to jump much higher and longer. He can also use the copy block, which makes 5 copies of him. When he has copies, it basically gives him a coat of armor, tripling his health. It also allows him to do 6 jump attacks instead of 1, drastically increasing his damage output. After killing 12 paper Goombas, the creased Goomba runs away, and Mario and Luigi are revived. Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario explore the area briefly, before finding a Goomba kidnapping a paper toad. The trio chase after it, and another toad mission starts. This toad mission is mostly the same as the one in Peach's castle, but 2 toads are being held by Goombas this time, requiring 2 fights to save them both. As far as I can tell, all fights in toad missions are predetermined, and not based on RNG. Both of these fights consist of 5 paper Paracoopas, 1 Goomba, and 1 paper Goomba each, resulting in 14 kills over both fights. Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario get the Dash Socks, which allows them to run very quickly and also slide. A delivery toad drops by and gives the trio a box. A group of Goombas show up and attack the bros.
Let's go.
Paper Mario uses the box, and it unfolds into a giant hammer, which then turns all of the enemies into paper. This is a trio move, which is basically a bigger bros attack. The only trio move I have currently is Trio Racket, which does a decent amount of damage. The trio obliterate the 6 Goombas and move on. The trio move into the next room and find a bunch of cardboard landscapes sprawled across the area, one of which having a giant Bowser face on it.
No.
Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario cross a bridge, and a toad tells the trio that Bowser and Paper Bowser teamed up and are kidnapping the princesses. Bowser and Paper Bowser fly by, and Bowser uses Petey Piranha to block the trio's path. Petey Piranha is actually a pretty interesting introduction to bosses. Most of his attacks are fairly easy to dodge, but he does have one attack where he spins that actually is pretty hard to time properly. It also gets rid of the character who got hit for an entire turn. Petey Piranha also has a chase attack. For this attack, Paper Mario turns into an airplane, and Mario and Luigi can grab onto Paper Mario to hover briefly. This attack isn't very hard to avoid, it just takes a minute. Petey Piranha is weak to fire attacks, so Luigi's Fire Flower is pretty useful for this fight. After Petey Piranha dies, the trio continue onwards, but Paper Kamek blocks the path with a giant cardboard Goomba, and scares a group of paper toads, causing them to run away. The trio enter Toad Town, and round up all 20 paper toads. A Lakitu grabs them all, and returns them back to Peach's castle. Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario go back in front of the cardboard Goomba, and wait. A group of Goombas arrive, and lift up the statue, preparing to use it as a weapon. Toadette arrives with a giant cardboard Mario, and the first papercraft battle starts. Since these battles take place against two pieces of cardboard, and not actual creatures, they obviously don't count towards the kill total, so I'll be skipping these. After the fight ends, the trio leave to enter Doop Doop Dunes. Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario find Nabbit, and chase it, and get the drill show back. The trio continue to chase after Nabbit, but Kamek swoops in and throws a bunch of cardboard blockades in the way, so they can't progress any further. Starlo finally teaches the trio how hammers work, and Mario hits a button to make a path forwards. A Spiny attacks them, and another fight starts. This is just another hammer tutorial, but this time for fights. The only notable thing is how Paper Mario's hammer can attack several enemies at once. After killing the Spinies, Mario tries to hit another button, but Nabbit steals all of their hammers and runs away. The trio chase after Nabbit and get back all of their hammers, and also get another Bros attack, this one being Rocket Blast. The Bros continue chasing Nabbit up some cardboard, but two giant Pokeys destroy the path, and the trio roll down the hill, getting stuck in a pit. Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario make a new technique, which allows them to use their hammers to destroy massive bricks. The trio climb up the hill again, and cross a wooden bridge, before the Pokeys knock them off again, and the trio fall deep into a grotto. Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario travel through the grotto, until they eventually find a pipe that leads to the desert Toad Town. When they arrive, a paper toad asks them if they could save 7 paper toads from some fly guys. This mission sucks so much. If I enter a fight with an enemy that isn't required, I have to restart the entire mission, since the flee command isn't available during Toad missions. The second thing is how many kills are required for this mission. For this mission, I have to enter 7 different fights with different groups of fly guys. The first 5 fights have 2 fly guys each, resulting in 10 kills from those. The last 2 fights have 2 fly guys and 3 paper bomb-oms, adding another 10 kills. Some Lakitus take the paper toads back to Peach's castle, and the Lakitu lets Toadette know that the trio would like something that would allow them to jump super high. The Lakitu tells them that Toadette needs more paper toads to help build it, though. There are 2 missions available at the Lakitu Information Center, both of which don't require any kills, so I do both of those. After completing the missions, a delivery toad arrives, and gives the trio a spring and Trio Kite, a new trio attack Paper Mario can use. Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario return to the grotto, and set up the spring there, before using it and being launched way up into the sky. The trio land right at the base of the Pokey duo, and use Trio Hammer to knock away a ton of their body segments. The Pokey duo boss is usually fairly annoying and takes a while, but it's not that bad if you know what you're doing. Usually, you're supposed to slowly knock away all of the body segments, so only their heads are left. But instead of doing that, it's easier to just use Trio Kite or the Drill Shell to just attack their heads immediately. Other than that, the fight is fairly easy, so I won't bore you with the details. This boss only results in 1 kill instead of 2, thankfully, since the Paper Pokey returns in Paper Mario's Sticker Star. Kamek and Paper Kamek return, and use a Cardboard Kamek to attack Mario and Luigi. Toadette made a Cardboard Luigi, so the trio can fight back. Just like last time, there's no challenge or kills, so I'll skip it. After demolishing the Cardboard Kamek, the trio heads back towards the bridge that leads to Bowser's castle. A cannonball smashes right through the bridge, though, and then a second one hits Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario directly. When they're hit by the cannonball, they're all knocked out, and they lose the book, before the Koopalings show up and throw them all into a jail cell. Paper Mario breaks them all out of the cell, and they look for an exit. They run into a group of Hammer Bros, and they show off how they stole all of their action commands, so the trio can't do anything if they get into a fight. All the Hammer Bros run off, and the trio chase after them to get their action commands back. To get the action commands back, I have to fight them, but since I don't have my action commands, I can't attack them. So the only way to kill them is to counter their attacks, which takes a while to do. I end up killing a total of 4 Hammer Bros and 2 Paper Hammer Bros to get all of my action commands back. Killing them actually got the trio to a high enough level to rank up. Rank ups happen every once in a while, and every time I rank up, I'm allowed to select one bonus that will help me for the rest of the game. For Mario, I selected BP up, which lets him get more Bros points per level up, so I can use Bros attacks more often. For Luigi, I selected Defense up, which gives him more defense per level up, making it harder for him to die. For Paper Mario, I selected HP up, which gives him more health per level up. After this, the trio continue to look for an exit, but find the way forwards blocked by a door. They find the key across a small bridge, but before they can cross it, it breaks, and they all fall. Thanks to some quick thinking from Paper Mario, they all managed to get back up. The group make a new technique, called Trio Grab, and use it to get the key. The trio use the new move to create some bridges, and eventually find a wall with Bowser's face on it. Despite it being a generic wall, Starlo decides that it's a good idea to remember this wall. The trio then find 2 toads carrying some ore onto a conveyor belt. Roy shows up and scolds the toads for not working hard enough. This totally won't be important later. The trio venture even deeper into the dungeon and find that creased paper Goomba from a while ago. Since he lost several times, he was demoted to a janitor, and he accidentally locked himself in a jail cell while cleaning it. Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario leave, but come back when the Goomba says he'll give them something good if they get him out. The Goomba gives the trio some battle cards, and Paper Mario breaks him out of the cell. Two Hammer Bros attack the trio, and the Paper Goomba shows them how to use battle cards. Every time I land a successful hit, the star point meter fills up a little bit. If the meter fills all the way up, I get 1 star point. I can spend those star points on the cards I have available. If I don't like a card, I can flip it over. I can also change which cards I use, and can have up to 10 cards in each deck I make. After killing the two Hammer Bros, the Paper Goomba runs off, and the trio try to find the exit. When I try to leave, though, Wendy and Roy show up, and I have to fight them. Roy and Wendy are already double the level of everyone else, so they do massive damage to me, while I don't do that much to them. Wendy and Roy have a couple attacks they'll use. Wendy can use rings, and throw them out at the trio, but it's not that hard to dodge. Roy can throw a big rock, which does massive damage if it hits, and it's pretty hard to counter, but if I counter it, it'll hit Wendy, and Wendy will attack Roy, dealing massive damage to him. They also have an attack where they'll go in their shells, and Wendy will launch herself at the trio, but it's not that hard to dodge. Their final attack is when Roy grabs a huge boulder and chases after the trio, while Wendy tries to hit Paper Mario with fireballs. The most efficient way to beat this boss is to focus all of my damage onto Roy. After Roy finally dies, Wendy will start using a new attack, which is a massive energy ball, which does an insane amount of damage. Just counter it a few times, and the boss is over. After Roy and Wendy lose the fight, they walk off, and the trio exit the prison. The trio return to the surface, and find themselves stranded on an island. The group search across the island for some way off, and find a toad town. They find a paper toad there, and he offers to help build a boat so they can get back to the mainland if they can save some paper toads. The trio get to a Lakitu info center, and there are 2 missions available. The first mission is easy, but the second one has a few required fights. 2 toads are being held captive by some Koopas, so I have to fight them both. Both fights have 2 Koopas each, resulting in 4 kills total. After saving all of the toads, the trio return to the paper toad, and they take a ride back to Sunbeam Plains with all the enslaved toads from the prison. They land the ship, but something seems different. I know! There's even more cardboard all over the place! The trio head back to Peach's castle to make a new plan. When they get there, a toad tells them that Bowser Jr. and Paper Bowser Jr. went up to Bowser's villa, up at Mount Burr, and took the princesses with them. The trio decide the best way to get there is to go through gloomy woods, and then go straight up the mountain. They make their way across Sunbeam Plains, but blocking the entrance to gloomy woods is Paper Petey Piranha. Paper Petey Piranha starts the fight by stealing Paper Mario's copy block, and makes 7 copies of himself. To defeat Paper Petey Piranha, I have to knock all of the fake copies off and find the real one. The only way to know which Paper Petey is the real one is to see which one moves around while on the floor. After finding the real one, I just have to attack it as much as possible. Paper Petey has a few attacks, but most of them aren't that dangerous. He can run at one of the bros, but it's super easy to dodge and also damages Paper Petey a lot, usually knocking at least 1 copy off. Paper Petey can also jump into the air and do a ground pound, which is also easy to dodge, and also damages Paper Petey a little bit. His final attack is the hardest to dodge. It's an attack where he chases after the trio. To dodge it, I just have to jump over Petey Piranha, and use Paper Mario to jump over the large groups of him. The problem is how the health bars in the bottom left obscure a little bit of the screen, making it a little harder to react with Luigi. It's still manageable though, and I beat him. He does not count as a kill though, since he appears again in Paper Mario Sticker Star. The trio enter Gloomy Woods, and find Kamek blocking all the paths with more cardboard. Mario and Luigi find a fruit, and give it to a hungry Wiggler. The Wiggler gets up and rams right through all the cardboard, destroying it all. When the trio try to carry onwards though, they find Wiggler blocking the path. He's too hungry and exhausted to move, and says he'll only be able to move if the bros can give him 10 more berries. The bros collect the berries, and even steal one from a paper paratroopa, before giving them to Wiggler. Wiggler tries to move, but still is too hungry, and needs more food. Wiggler requests that I borrow a melon from a Yoshi that just passed by. The trio go up to the Yoshi and ask for the melon, but the Yoshi refuses to give his melon to the trio unless they can manage to beat him in a race. After a super short and easy race, I get a melon and bring it back to Wiggler. Wiggler gets up and finds some more cardboard blockades in the way, and destroys them. The trio venture deeper into the forest, but this time we're stopped by an electric fence. The trio look for a way to disable it, but get distracted when they find Nabbit again. Nabbit runs away, and swims out to a rock, where Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario can't reach him. The trio find a bomb growing from a plant, and use it to throw at Nabbit, making Nabbit fall into the water and drop a new bros attack, this time being Bomb Derby.
Mario!
The bros use the same bomb plant to blow up the electric fence, and they venture a little deeper into the forest, just to be stopped by another electric fence. It doesn't take long to destroy this one, and Wiggler runs deeper into the forest. When Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario try to follow after him, Kamek shows up and creates a magic barrier, locking them in that room. The trio throw a few bombs at him until he runs away and gets rid of the barrier. The trio enter the next room and find Paper Kamek using magic on Wiggler. Before they can get to him, it's too late, and he's under Paper Kamek's control. Wiggler is one of the worst things imaginable for a challenge run like this. He has 2 minions that I can't get rid of, and they also have 1 attack that I can't counter, because it would damage and kill them. Wiggler also has an unavoidable attack, where after doing a few easy attacks, he'll stand up and chase after one of the bros. I can't dodge this attack, because a Monty Mole gets in the way, and I obviously can't kill it. So I have to just tank the hit, and this is a guaranteed kill to whichever bro it hits. Wiggler also has a chase attack, where Paper Kamek will summon a big ball, and Wiggler will roll on it towards the trio. This attack is pretty hard to dodge, and it is also a guaranteed kill to whoever gets hit by it. The worst part is how there's only 1 chance during the whole attack to dodge it, and that's when Paper Kamek flies by, since I can't do enough damage to destroy the ball normally. The final attack is when Paper Kamek flies in from the background and launches magic attacks at the trio. This attack is actually amazing for this challenge, and saves the challenge. When this attack happens, I can do massive damage to Wiggler, and Paper Kamek also takes a lot of damage. This fight is still brutal though. I was constantly losing 1 bro to the chase attacks, so I'd lose an entire turn trying to heal, and deal no damage to the boss at all. Thankfully, Paper Kamek's attack let me deal enough damage to Wiggler to get him down. After that, all of the minions run away, and Paper Kamek is the only one left. He only has 1 attack, and it's super easy to dodge. Right before I could kill Paper Kamek though, he revived Wiggler. Thankfully, Paper Kamek used his magic attack, and it actually killed him. Paper Kamek runs away, and Wiggler dies, before ascending to heaven. He then immediately comes back as a Flutter, and gives the trio a ride to Mount Burr. The trio start climbing the mountain, but are stopped very quickly when some cardboard falls from the sky and blocks the path. The bros make a new technique to get past it, called Trio Drill. This allows them to go underground, climb soft walls, and collect beans. Though, thankfully, we don't need to collect beans for this run. The path up to Toad Town is uninteresting, so I'm going to skip it. There weren't any fights, and there are 3 puzzles and a ton of climbing. Toadette tells the trio they need more paper toads for a brand new paper craft. Thankfully, all 3 toad missions don't require any kills, so I save all the paper toads, get a new trio attack from the male toad, which was Trio Whirligig, and leave the Lakitu Info Center from the back entrance to continue climbing the mountain. Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario run into the Bowser Jr.'s and Kameks with their giant Bowser Jr. papercraft. Since papercraft battles still aren't significant to the run, I'll be skipping it yet again. The Bowser Jr.'s and Kameks run away, and drop a Bowser medallion. The trio grab it, and chase after the Bowser Jr.'s and Kameks, but they fly off a cliff before Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario can catch up, and the trio fall off of the cliff. Paper Mario catches them both, and floats them down safely. Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario decide to head back to the prison, since they think the Bowser medallion could be used somewhere around there. They start heading back, and on the way there, they find Nabbit, and steal the drop chopper back from him. They also find the creased paper Goomba, and he says he'll go with them to help them. As they continue, they get stopped by the Charging Chuck Corps. This is another horrible boss for this run. Normally, they're a complete joke, but in this run, they're absolute hell. There are 12 of them, and they each have separate health pools. To win this fight, I have to kill all of them at the same time, so they don't call reinforcements, so I don't have to kill even more of them. Their attacks are not notable, so I won't talk about them, but they do damage them, so that is important. The best way I found to kill them was to start the fight with 2 really powerful cards that would do 90 damage total to each Charging Chuck, which requires an almost full star meter. The problem that I had was that I didn't realize how broken attack cards are in this fight, and kept trying to brute force it with attacks like Trio Whirligig, which didn't work, since the Charging Chuck's health would desync, because they would damage each other. After killing all of the Charging Chucks, the trio rank up again. For Mario, I chose the effect Pow Up, which increases his power for every level up. For Luigi, I chose the effect Gear Slot +1, which lets him equip an extra piece of gear to boost his stats even more. For Paper Mario, I chose the effect Speed Up, which increases his speed for each level up. After ranking up, the trio finally enter Twin Sea Tropics. They find a ton of cardboard terrain all across the ocean, but ignore it and head back to Toad Town. I buy some new gear, and then enter the prison. After entering the prison, the Creased Paper Goomba asks if they have a Bowser medallion, since they need that to get into Bowser's castle. The trio show the Creased Goomba the medallion they got from the juniors. The Creased Goomba then calls over 2 Fire Bros, who take the medallion away from the trio before the Goomba runs off to get his promotion. This starts one of the most annoying roadblocks in this entire run. It starts a minigame where there are about 20 different Fire Bros, and I have to guess which one of them has the medallion. Every time I take a guess, I have to fight the Fire Bros, which always results in 2 or 3 enemies being fought. Thankfully, one of them always survives the fight, so that's 1 less kill per wrong fight. The Fire Bros that has the medallion doesn't actually show up until at least 2 other Fire Bros have been defeated, and the clues have been obtained. The best way to finish this minigame is to fight 2 of the Fire Bros in the first room and get their clues. The Fire Bro with the medallion will always spawn in the 3rd room, so I just have to head there. Using the clues the first 2 Fire Bros gave me, I have to take an educated guess on which Fire Bro actually has the medallion. Since this Fire Bro is in a later room, there's an extra enemy to fight during the fight, and thus an extra kill. So, unfortunately, that's another 7 fights and 4 kills. I get the medallion back, and also get 300 coins for finding the Fire Bro super quickly. I head over to the suspicious wall, and finally put the Bowser medallion into it to reveal a wall. I climb the wall with Trio Drill, and find a new exit to the prison. I use it, and find myself on a new set of islands, with a crystallized pipe in the center. To decrystallize it, I just have to go into 3 caves on the islands, and press some buttons, so it's easy. After the crystal shatters, I go through the pipe and enter yet another cave. They continue on, but the only thing they find is another exit. They go through it, but someone stops them and beats them up. Turns out, it was Larry and Luigi. Oh wait, Ludwig was stuck in the pipe. This boss fight is very similar to the Wiggler boss fight, where they have an attack that's impossible to dodge without killing some minions. I will mention that the minions explode themselves with the bomb, but I'm not going to count those as kills, since I don't cause them to die. The best strategy I found was to just let Mario and Luigi die, and counter-attack Larry constantly. Eventually, Larry will die, and I can use a double 1-up to revive the bros before Ludwig hits himself with his magic ball attack. The best part about this strategy is that they will not use the bomb attack unless Mario or Luigi are alive. And since Paper Mario is the only one alive, they will not use that attack ever. Unfortunately, I didn't realize how good this strategy was, and wasted most of my 1-up mushrooms, so after defeating them, I didn't have many spares. After defeating the duo, they walk off, and I enter the pipe, and enter Bowser's castle. The trio explores Bowser's castle, but as they explore, they get launched high into the air by one of the platforms, and are high above some lava. Paper Mario thankfully saves them by turning into a paper airplane, but now they don't have a way across. The trio make a new movement technique to get across, called Trio Glider, which allows the trio to fly briefly. They continue exploring the castle until they find another papercraft, this one of King Boo. Toadette shows up again with another papercraft, and I'm skipping this yet again, since it's a papercraft battle. After the battle ends, Kamek kidnaps Toadette. The trio enter the next room, but find the path to the elevator blocked by a Bowser face. Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario decide to explore the left room first, and find Toadette being held by a fly guy. After chasing it down and killing 3 fly guys, Toadette is saved. I hit a blue block right next to where we landed, and it lights up one of the Bowser face's eyes. The trio enter the right path, and after some simple platforming, hit another blue block, and turn off the Bowser face's fire. The trio take the elevator up, and find the princesses on Bowser's balcony. Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario enter the next room to meet up with them, but Bowser Jr. and Paper Bowser Jr. swoop in, and lock them behind a door. They then both run away, and the trio chase after them. After an easy stealth minigame, I catch them both, and get the totally real Paper Mushroom Kingdom, before they run away again. The trio chase after them again, and a boss fight starts. This fight is kind of a problem. Their attacks aren't dangerous at all, and are pretty easy to avoid. The problem is how they'll revive each other. If one of them dies, they'll revive each other within a turn, so I have to kill them both at about the same time. Other than that, the fight was easy. The trio save the princesses, but Bowser and Paper Bowser arrive. They're furious that the bros hurt their sons, and activate their super secret plan now. The trio run away, forgetting the book that contains the Paper Mushroom Kingdom, and get to the balcony. Bowser's plan was to launch his castle high into the sky using the ore from way back in the prison as fuel, and this causes a heavy gust of wind to hit the balcony, launching the princesses, Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario away. Paper Mario catches them all and lands them right next to Peach's castle, so it's perfectly fine. Bowser is still furious at the bros giving Bowser Jr. an owie, and launches a cannonball straight through Peach's castle, demolishing it. The princesses and the bros try to come up with a way to get to new Neo Bowser's castle, and Toadette comes up with a plan. She says she needs 2 things for it to work though: a ton of paper toads, and the trio to make it to the summit of Mount Burr. Toadette also gives Paper Mario his final trio attack for this run, Trio Shuriken. This attack is actually worse than Trio Whirligig, so I'm never gonna use it. Normally there would be one more trio attack available after this, but I can't get it because it requires saving every paper toad, and one of the toad missions requires kills. The trio decide to go back through gloomy woods to get to Mount Burr. They find the way there blocked by some new cardboard, and find a lot more cardboard all over the place. Using Trio Glider to get on top of some cardboard, and using a springboard to get into the clouds, they find a new entrance to the woods. The trio find a creepy looking tree, and it bursts into a bunch of boos, causing Luigi to run away. Luigi finds Mario and Paper Mario missing, and has to find them all by himself. Luigi hears some rustling, and goes to check it out, finding Starlo. Starlo gives Luigi a pep talk, and Luigi sets out to find the Marios. After evading some boos, Luigi finds Mario. He then finds Mario. He then finds Mario. He then finds Mario. Okay, how many of these are going to be fake? He then finds Mario and gets him out of a tree. Mario and Luigi find Paper Mario across a stream and make their way over there. They get Paper Mario back into the group, and they continue on as normal. Yep, completely normal. King Boo should have been an easy fight, but he was so annoying for me to beat for some reason. During this fight, King Boo will show off how he has Paper Mario captured, and you're usually supposed to attack his minion to get Paper Mario back, but I can't do that for obvious reasons. But if I attack King Boo when Paper Mario is being held by a minion, he'll attack Paper Mario. This might sound like a horrible thing, but this is actually great. If Paper Mario runs out of health, then the Boo drops him, and I can revive him. The problem is his attacks. For some reason, his attacks always trip me up and hit me. The attack where he tries to ram into the bros by turning invisible isn't bad, but the attack where he shoots fire is horrible. I don't know why, but I always get hit by it. I either don't jump quick enough, or jump when I shouldn't, and take so much damage. He also has a chase attack where I can throw Paper Mario as a boomerang. It's not too bad to dodge, and I can hit the paper boos, since they fly away instead of dying. For some reason, halfway through the fight, I just couldn't manage to counter this attack for a while, and I have no clue what happened. After a long and grueling fight, he dies, and I can move on. I explore the woods, save a Toad from some booze by playing a minigame, and find Nabbit again. After chasing him across some clouds, I catch him and get Balloon Blast, which is not a good attack for this run. This attack is also the final bros attack for Luigi, unfortunately, since his final and best attack requires kills to get. I then take a quick detour to go back to Doop Doop Dunes and catch Nabbit again, getting what I consider to be Mario's best bros attack, Cannonball Chuck. I finally wrap up my Nabbit hunt, and Flutter gives me a ride to Mount Burr. When I get to Mount Burr, a new shortcut to the Toad Town is open, so I use that to get there straight away. I head to the Lakitu Info Center to do some Toad missions. The first 3 are super easy and don't require any kills. The 4th one isn't as kind. The 4th mission has 3 fly guys kidnapping some paper toads and running away. I have to find them all and kill them all, without running into any other enemies, since that would require me to kill them too. After catching each fly guy, I have to fight them, and each fight has 3 fly guys total, adding up to 9 kills. The only good thing to come from this is the trio ranking up again. I get Mario and Luigi Iron Body, so they take 25% less damage from attacks. And I get Paper Mario Copy Max plus 2, which increases the maximum number of copies he can get from 6 to 8, which is insanely useful, especially for this run. After beating the Toad missions, I decided to check what rewards I got from beating them, and I got a +5 timer card, which adds 5 minutes to any timer I want, which will be insanely useful later. I used some new cardboard terrain to enter a cave next to the Toad Town, and explore it. There's actually a really easy out of bounds glitch in this room. It has no real use as far as I'm aware, but it's pretty funny. All you have to do is use Trio Glider, and time when you push yourself upwards, so you can get on top of the wall. It's completely pointless. After leaving the cave, the trio find themselves high up on some clouds. While exploring up there, they find a massive door. They press 2 buttons, which unlock the door, and take the elevator that it revealed up to the top of the mountain. When they reach the summit, the trio find Bowser's cardboard cannons, which he has been using to pollute the land with all the cardboard landscape. King Bomb shows up, and another fight starts. This fight was so close to being a run killer. He starts the fight with the 4-minute timer, and the only way to get it back up is to counter one specific attack, which will add 1 minute to the timer. That method isn't very reliable though, so instead of relying on RNG, I can just use the +5 minute timer card I got at the Lakitu Info Center to extend the timer infinitely. Since the only challenge of King Bum is the timer, he dies very easily, and I can move on. Lakitu brings up some paper toads, and makes a spiral staircase to New Neo Bowser's castle. I also get Mario's final bros attack here, Toad Trail, which is completely useless, since I suck at using it, and it's an attack that is all or nothing. The trio start to climb the staircase, but Bowser tries to hit it with some cannonballs. After some quick dodges from the paper toads, the trio continue climbing, and finally make it to the final area, New Neo Bowser's castle. The trio run around the castle and hit 4 buttons, activating a lift in the middle of the castle. They find Bowser and Paper Bowser, and they drop all 4 of the bros' paper crafts in front of them before burning them down with his own paper craft. Toadette comes up with a plan to destroy Bowser and Paper Bowser's new paper craft, but they need 3 pieces of fire ore to do it. They get the first piece extremely easily, but the second piece is being guarded by Morton. After doing a short minigame and launching Morton into the stratosphere, I get the second piece of the fire ore, and go looking for the third piece. The third piece is being guarded by Iggy, Wendy, and Bowser. After hitting them with a ton of bombs, they all retreat, and I collect the final piece of fire ore and give them to Toadette. I then go back to the second floor to continue exploring, and find Bowser and Paper Bowser launching a giant bullet bill at the trio. Thankfully, Toadette arrives in time with the new papercraft, and the final papercraft battle starts. As usual, I'm skipping it, since it's not important to the run at all. After demolishing their papercraft, Bowser and Paper Bowser disassemble the bridge, and run away to the 3rd floor. It's not difficult at all to repair the bridge, and just requires hitting all 4 segments of the bridge with Trio Hammer. After repairing the bridge, the trio find Iggy, Lemmy, and Morton plotting to shoot another cannonball at Peach's castle. Since Peach is still in the castle, this is obviously a horrible idea on their part, but they go through with it anyways and press the button, starting a 5-minute timer for when the cannon will go off. The trio rush to destroy the cannon, but run into a bunch of enemies on the way to stop it. There's a group of 8 Goombas, another group of 8 Goombas, 21 paper bomb-bombs, 12 ant troopers, and a shy guy with a chain chomp and a paper chain chomp. All of these enemies are required to kill except the 2 chain chomps, since they run away after the shy guy is killed. After killing all of those enemies, I have to avoid entering a battle with some paper fuzzies and fly guys, and I can finally destroy the cannon. The bros take the elevator to the 3rd floor, and walk across the balcony, only to get attacked by Kamek and Paper Kamek. This boss is brutal. They do a lot of damage, and their attacks aren't the easiest to dodge. Their chase attack, thankfully, is super easy to dodge though, and does a lot of damage to both of them. But their portal attacks timing is a little annoying. And the jump rope isn't the worst, but after the halfway point of the fight, it gets much harder to dodge. They also summon 10 paper dry bones as minions, but they kill themselves with their own attacks, so they aren't a big deal. They have the same reviving mechanics as the Bowser Juniors, so I have to kill them both at the same time, but that's not too bad. The Kameks don't count as kills, by the way, since Paper Kamek is in every Paper Mario game after this, and Kamek is shown in the new Mario and Luigi Brothership trailers. The trio enter the final hallway, and see Bowser and Paper Bowser at the very end of it. Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario start walking down the hallway towards them. The Bowsers summon a ton of their minions to attack them. The first fight is against the Goomba, Paper Goomba, Koopa Troopa, and Paper Koopa Troopa, but they're all defeated in a single attack. The second fight is against a Spiny, Paper Spiny, Ninja, and a Paper Ninja, but they're all killed in a single attack again. The third fight is against a Hammer Bro, a Paper Hammer Bro, a Spike, and a Paper Spike. This time, they survive an attack, but still die super quickly. The fourth fight is against 2 Shy Guys and 2 Paper Shy Guys. They actually survive a few attacks, but they're still pretty easy. The fifth fight is against 2 Bruisers and 2 Paper Bruisers. They actually put up a decent fight, and I get hit a few times, but it's still fairly easy to kill them all. The Bowsers are frustrated now, and call the Koopalings to attack them all. The first fight is against Roy and Wendy. They're exactly the same as they were back when I fought them in the prison, except they have higher stats. Doesn't make the fight any harder though, and they die. The second fight is against Larry and Ludwig. They're exactly the same as they were when I fought them the first time. That does mean I have to deal with their attacks that are impossible to dodge, but it's still possible to beat them. The final fight is against Iggy, Lemmy, and Morton. Their fight is kind of interesting. Instead of being a traditional boss fight, they attack 3 times in a row, and if I counter their attacks, they take insane damage, and normally would die in a single turn. The first attack is Lemmy's giant ball. Just hit him a few times with Paper Mario, and he falls and gets crushed under the ball, taking massive damage. The second attack is Iggy's chain chomp. I actually almost lost the fight here, because I kept making dumb mistakes. After jumping on Iggy, the chain chomp catches him and launches him away. The final attack is Morton's Chain Chomp Throw. Just use Paper Mario as a trampoline, and it hits all 3 Koopalings for a ton of damage. After this, all the Koopalings are dizzy, and I can attack them for 1 turn. Due to how underleveled I am, they managed to survive my attacks, and revive anyone who died. I managed to kill them on the 2nd cycle though. After this fight, I rank up for the final time, and got Mario and Luigi gear slot +1, and then forgot to give them new gear, making that completely pointless. I also got Paper Mario Iron Body, so he would take 25% less damage. Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario finally make their way to Bowser and Paper Bowser, and the final fight begins. Bowser and Paper Bowser have some really cool attacks. They have a fire attack, where they shoot out blasts of fire, where Paper Bowser's are slower, and Bowser's are faster. And then they combine their flames to attack Paper Mario, before a little of the flame drifts off to attack one of the bros. They also have an attack where they pick up a ton of spike balls to compete with each other, and the person who buckles first has their spike balls miss. If they take too much damage, they'll also hide in their shells. This fight goes on for a little while, but eventually they decide that it's time to go all out and finish it. Paper Bowser causes a paper storm to rise up, and Bowser jumps into the middle of it, causing Bowser to be coated in a paper armor. Shiny Robo Bowser is probably the hardest final boss of any of these challenges so far. Dark Bowser was painfully easy, Elder Princess Shroob took a while, but she wasn't too bad, and Kekaletta had a few attacks that one-shotted everyone, but they only targeted one person each. Shiny Robo Bowser has several attacks that can kill everyone in a single hit, and he takes a while to beat. And worst of all, I can't use trio attacks unless his armor is broken, since he would counter it with his own trio attack, which I'll talk about later. He has a few attacks that aren't too bad to counter. He has an attack where he'll breathe fire that's easy to dodge, as well as one where he stomps on the trio. The attacks that consistently had me getting hurt were his chase attacks though. One of the attacks he chases after burrows as a tank, and I have to jump over his minions. If I jump too early, I'll accidentally kill one of his minions and have to restart the fight. Bowser will then shoot a fireball that all of the bros have to jump over. Then repeat the cycle, then jump over a chain chomp, which then hurts Bowser. The second chase attack is just as bad. I have to jump over minions, yet again, trying not to jump on them, so I don't kill them. I also have to maneuver Paper Mario so he doesn't get hit by the fly guys, and also allow Mario or Luigi to not get burned by Bowser. The attack ends with either Mario or Luigi jumping on Bowser, dealing a ton of damage to his armor. His final attack is by far his worst attack, his trio attack. He rarely uses it, but he does sometimes. It is super hard to dodge, and it can kill all three bros at the same time, ruining an entire run. To beat Bowser, I have to destroy his armor, and then I can attack him directly. He'll repair his armor after a few turns, and I'll have to restart the cycle. He can also repair it before I fully destroy his armor. It takes a while, but he is finally defeated. Bowser falls off of his own castle, and Paper Bowser is trapped back in the Paper Mushroom Kingdom. The trio go back to the castle and start a victory parade where they collect all of the paper creatures they missed and put them back in the book. With another game completed, it's time to see what the total kill count is. Mario and Luigi, as a duo, fought 4 enemies, which were 2 paper Goombas and 2 Goombas, and they ended up killing the 2 Goombas. Paper Mario fought 13 paper Goombas and killed 12 of them. Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario, as a trio, fought 174 enemies, which were 25 Goombas, 3 paper Goombas, Petey Piranha, 5 Spinies, 1 paper Spiny, 26 Fly Guys, 27 paper Bomb-Ombs, Big Pokey and Paper Tower Pokey, 7 Hammer Bros, 3 paper Hammer Bros, Roy and Wendy, 5 Koopa Troopas, 1 paper Koopa Troopa, Paper Petey Piranha, Wiggler and Paper Kamek, 12 Charging Chucks, 5 Fire Bros, 2 Paper Fire Bros, Larry and Ludwig, Bowser Jr. and Paper Bowser Jr., King Boo, King Bomb-Omb, 12 Ant Troopers, 3 Shy Guys, 2 Paper Shy Guys, 1 Chain Chomp, 1 Paper Chain Chomp, Kamek and Paper Kamek, 1 Ninja, 1 Paper Ninja, 1 Spike, 1 Paper Spike, 2 Bruisers, 2 Paper Bruisers, Roy and Wendy, Larry and Ludwig, Lemmy, Iggy, and Morton, and finally Bowser and Paper Bowser. Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario as a trio killed 155 enemies, which were 25 Goombas, 3 Paper Goombas, Petey Piranha, 5 Spinies, 1 Paper Spiny, 26 Fly Guys, 27 Paper Bomb-Ombs, Big Pokey, 7 Hammer Bros, 3 Paper Hammer Bros, 5 Koopa Troopas, 1 Paper Koopa Troopa, 12 Charging Chucks, 2 Fire Bros, 2 Paper Fire Bros, King Boo, King Bomb-Omb, 12 Ant Troopers, 3 Shy Guys, 2 Paper Shy Guys, 1 Ninja, 1 Paper Ninja, 1 Spike, 1 Paper Spike, 2 Bruisers, 2 Paper Bruisers, Roy and Wendy, Larry and Ludwig, Lemmy, Iggy, and Morton. That means I fought 191 enemies and killed 169. That's way more than every other video I've made so far. The combined kill count from my previous 3 videos is 74, and I could double that and it would still be comfortably under Paper Jam's total kill count. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's go. Okie dokie.
It's still It's still manageable though, and I beat him. He does not as a cat. It's still manageable though, and I beat him. He does not count as a kill though, since he appears get. It's still manage. It's still man. It's still manageable though, and I beat him. He does not count as a kill though, since he appears again in Paper Mario Sticker Star.